Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Sami here. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto died? Tsunade went back in time to save him. Part 2, hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please subscribe to our channel, and like this video. So let's get into the video. Ishiko was rather vocal about what she reported, as she left very little out of her report about all she had seen during the wave mission. This shocked and surprised Haku and Tsurutobi. Damn it, Hokage-sama. That Haruno girl is less than useless, as she is right now, and the Uchiha is even worse, as he would abandon his team just to prove a point. He showed some progress near the end of the mission, but he did not show that he truly understood teamwork. Naruto-kan was left to work on his own, and use, as a tool to push Sasuke to achieve better. All they apparently know right now is the tree climbing exercise. I know that Sasuke at least knows some. Naruto knows only shadow clones, and I don't think he fully understands what is involved with it. Sakura is useless, as she has pathetic chakra reserves, but excellent control, and absolutely no other than the Academy 3. Yoshiko ranted. Tsurutobi pondered what he was being told. So you're telling me that Kakashi is purposely helping only one of his genin rather than the whole team? Yoshiko shook her head. Not so much, as he is abandoning the team to only do chakra focusing and teamwork exercises. Sakura needs the most work, and then Naruto-kan also needs some help. I would say he needs a mentor or become an apprentice to someone. Tsurutobi chuckled at her comments. And who would you suggest, Jiraiya of the Sannin? Yoshiko nodded with a huge smirk. Exactly the man for the job, as he and Naruto-kan share the same hard head, or at least that is what mom told me about Jiraiya-sama. Both learn by doing. But Naruto was the last in his class. What makes you so interested in a boy like him? Tsurutobi inquired. He reminds me of Yondaime. He, like my mother, and I are some of the few blondes here in the village. He has the will not to give up no matter what. He has a very kind heart. Also I know there has to be a reason you put him on Kakashi's team. For what I heard there was another that you were going to put on his team. Yoshiko commented. Tsurutobi eyed the girl, as if he was beginning to suspect something was amiss with the Senju. Are you saying I would play favors, and place a boy who looks like the Yondaime with the Yondaime student? What else would it be? Team 10 is a capture team, and Team 8 is a scout team. I would figure that Team 7 would be an assault team, but it isn't. Sure, you have Sasuke Uchiha with his Sharingan, fire, and fighting style, but Sakura Haruno, bookworm of her class, and Naruto Uzumaki the dead last of his class on that same team. Let's take a look at Naruto's skills. Shadow clones are scouting, and information gathering. He could also use it as an extraction by filling the area with clones while he and his team make good their escape. His transformation is an actual transformation instead of another infiltration skill. The sexy jutsu, a variation upon his transformation, is yet another infiltration skill. His speed is near or better than level. His evasion skills are at times better than Anbu, even with his choice of wardrobe. This comment brought a chuckle to both Haku and Tsurutobi. So there are things you want to add about the mission that they went on with Tsunade-san. Tsurutobi deflected the point of how he made up the squads. There is more here than she is saying, I am sure of it. Yoshiko took a deep breath and slammed her hand down on Tsurutobi's desk, leaving an indentation of her fist. Kakashi glossed over the actual mission, giving the Uchiha boy more credit than he deserved, and didn't give enough to Naruto-kan. I must watch out for this girl. She is too much like her mother in a lot of ways. That hole in my desk could have been my stomach. Tsurutobi thought to himself. Okay, please fill me in on what you think that Kakashi left out. Haku spoke up this time. During the first encounter, Naruto-kan fought Zabuza-sama's water clone to a standstill. He also devised a plan that freed Kakashi-san from Zabuza-sama's water prison. The Uchiha boy had a part to plan, but did not come up with the idea or its implementation. On the bridge I was able to incapacitate Uchiha-san, while Naruto-kan was able to call forth a great power, and stop me. The Haruno girl was left to defend the client, while Kakashi-san took Zabuza-sama, and the Uchiha boy fought me. Naruto-kan surprised me just as I was about to kill the Uchiha boy. He also surprised everyone when he snuck into my crystal ice prison. No one had noticed until the Uchiha boy yelled at him, and brought all attention to him. Had he just left with Naruto-kan they could have escaped unnoticed. While Naruto-kan is loud, he is also very stealthy when he needs to be. I will go over Kakashi's report carefully, and see if these points you have raised are in the report. If not, I will call you both back to help fill in the blanks for me. I will also keep Yukeke Genkai under wraps for now. So will you be staying at the Senju estate? Tsurutobi asked. Yes, we're going to stay there, as Yoshiko-sama has offered me one of the spare bedrooms. Haku explained. Would you care to become a shinobi of the leaf? I can offer you a genuine spot in one of my squads that is short of a person. Tsurutobi offered. If it is alright with the Hokage, I would prefer to not become a shinobi at this time. I am afraid your council will force me into a marriage with a man I do not care for. I'm also still grieving for Zabuza-sama, and it would not be appropriate at this time. I thank you for your offer, but would like to keep your offer on hold if I can. I have a few things to settle first. Yoshiko-chan has been gracious to offer a home for me in the Senju estate. Haku replied. Very well then, you will be offered citizenship in a few weeks, as you pass probation with Yoshiko, as your sponsor. I will also keep your bloodline secret, as long as I can. I hope you have a good day, ladies. Tsurutobi started with a smile. Yoshiko took Haku to the garment district to purchase both male and female clothes for her. They made it look like the female clothes were for Yoshiko, and the male clothes were for Haku. They later entered the Senju house. Yoshiko began to fix lunch when there was a knock on the door. Yoshiko answered the door, and asked for Yoshiko and Haku to come to council chambers in an hour. Yoshiko smelled a rat, but didn't want to worry Haku too much. The girls ate a quick lunch, and then prepared to meet with the Konoha council. Yoshiko and Haku both wore formal wear. Yoshiko wore a green kimono, while Haku wore a plain dark blue kimono in the style of males. Yoshiko was not happy at all. What do those old bats on the council want? Yoshiko stated bluntly. Haku looked confused at Yoshiko. Why would you not show respect for the village council? Yoshiko sighed. They keep on trying to get me to marry this person or that person, because I am the last of the Senju clan. I think they might try to pull the same thing with you. Yoshiko smiled, as a sly grin crossed her face. Haku-chan, I have a question for you. Haku looked intently at Yoshiko. Yes, Yoshiko-chan, what is your question? What are your feelings towards Naruto-kun? Yoshiko inquired. Haku blushed at the question. To be honest, I see a lot of potential in him that I really do like. I also noticed the hurt and pain behind his eyes. I feel there is a connection between us, but I am not sure how to describe it. He has compassion, more so than you would expect from a shinobi. His heart is pure, that being one of his most endearing attributes. You described him, but not your feelings for him. I know that I am in love with the boy, I think I know others that may be too. Yoshiko admitted with a blush. I do feel an attraction, but I feel he is still too young for romantic attachments. When he is older I would like to pursue one with him if I can. Haku admitted with a smile, and a deep blush. Yoshiko smiled broadly. I have an idea. Haku nodded. If the council attempts to force us to marry, and your secret is gotten out, we can push back, and have them arrange a marriage for both of us to Naruto-kun. How do you feel about that? Yoshiko proposed. Haku thought for a minute. I think that is a good idea, and I would like that. He is kind, and would be at least a good husband, and that way we could remain friends, and we can help Naruto-kun. I can tell he is very lonely, and it would be a way to repay Naruto-kun. Haku replied with a smile. Both girls entered the Hokage's tower, and made their way to the council chambers. Yoshiko's worries came to a full head when she looked at the frustrated and angry look on Tsurutobi's face. Greeting Hokage-sama, the council has summoned both of us. May we inquire what this is about? Yoshiko asked politely. Tsurutobi gave the girls a sad smile. Welcome Yoshiko-chan and Haku. The council would like to speak with the both of you. I think I know what they want, but I am not sure, so I am going to let them speak to you. But please sit and listen to what they have to say. Yoshiko and Haku sat in two empty chairs near Tsurutobi at the large conference table. Homura coughed to clear his voice. It is good to see you, Yoshiko-heim. I hope your mother is doing well. Yoshiko pushed down her anger. It is an honor to meet with the esteemed members of the Konoha Council, and, as for my mother, I believe she is doing fine, either that or she is losing a ton of money, and in that case she is, as happy, as a clam. Yoshiko's comment caused those that knew Tsunade to chuckle. Being that, as it is. It has come to our attention that you turned down Sasuke Uchiha's advances. Am I correct in what I heard? Homura asked. Yoshiko smiled. Yep, I turned him down, and stuck a kunai into it. Now I am hoping it is deader than a doornail, and no healing will bring it back if I can help it. Again Yoshiko's antics caused several in the room to chuckle. Why would you do that? He is the last of the Uchiha, and you are the last of the Senju. A merger of the founding clans would be beneficial to the village. Homura stated. Beneficial, for whom, might I ask? I do not like the Uchiha, and I especially do not like Sasuke. My family dwindled while theirs prospered and multiplied. My family fought while theirs took sparing missions to increase their store of, and then took cushy positions in the police force. Yoshiko stated, as she glared at Homura. Why do you have this animosity towards Sasuke Uchiha? What has he ever done to you? Homura asked. Where do I start? He killed the man I loved, the woman that carried his child, and betrayed the village. I could continue, but that was another time. Yoshiko thought to herself. I just don't like him, and another has caught my eye. Homura smiled. I am glad you are taking your duty as heir properly. Would you like to share with the council who this lucky young man is? Nope. Yoshiko replied with a smirk that caused Tsurutobi to smirk also. Very well then. It has also been brought to our attention that your guest here has a bloodline trait, and is actually a young girl, not the boy she is attempting to convince us she might be. Koharu stated this caused several gasps in the council chambers. I would like to know where you got this information. Haku questioned. We will not divulge our sources. Do you admit to both having a Kekkei Genkai, and to being female? Koharu asked. I admit to both. Haku stated, as her face contorted in anger. Koharu nodded. Very well, then it will be decided who you will have an arranged marriage to, so that you can help provide this village with children with your bloodline. What? Haku demanded, as she slammed her hand down on the table. Quiet, child. You have no say in this. Kaheru stated. The room's temperature dropped several degrees in seconds, as Haku stood facing the council. First thing, you do not dictate who I will or will not marry. Second thing, I am not a member of your village, and am currently only guest. If you are planning to abduct me, and then have me raped, I will kill each and every one of you right here, and now. Afterwards I will leave this village. I have never been a true shinobi, and thus have never given my oath to a village. I understand that this village adores Kake Genkai, but the village council forcing a girl with no family into a family without her consent, and then telling me that I have no say in matters for me, is grounds for me to kill you where you stand. Haku threatened. Hiyashi smiled, and loudly shifted his chair away from Kaheru. You young lady could teach my eldest a thing or two. Kaheru-san, I believe you have bitten off more than you can chew. Indeed, Haku-chan is under Senju protection. Thus an attack on her is an attack on the family of the first and second Hokages, along with my mother, Tsunade. Do you wish to continue treading upon these waters? Yoshiko threatened. Silence, child, you will respect your elders. Kaheru yelled. Yoshiko stood and looked the older woman directly into the eyes. You don't scare me, you old hag. This girl came into this village after a tragic loss, and now you want to sell her off to the highest bidding clan to strengthen the village, without any concern for her welfare. What type of evil bastards are you? Yoshiko questioned. We are looking out for the child's best interests. Kaheru retorted. Really? And just who did you have in mind? Maybe a certain Uchiha theme. Yoshiko replied with much venom. Yes, actually that person came to mind along with a couple others. Kaheru replied in a kindly elderly manner. Yoshiko sighed, and looked to Haku, who shook her head. I have also chosen someone to follow. Kaheru smiled warmly. Then we are not worried about you having children soon. Who may I ask is the lucky man? Haku shook her head. Children may be in the future, but I will not have them for a few years now. As for whom my interests lie, I'm not at liberty to reveal who it is. Why do you not share a child? Kaheru inquired. Because to me, you appear to be pompous old fools trying to run others' lives without any regard for the lives you're attempting to ruin. Haku retorted. Haku looked angrily at Sarutobi, who just shook his head and smirked. Are we done being humiliated here? Haku turned to leave, and grabbed Yoshiko's hand in an attempt to leave the room. Two Enbu appeared in front of the door. So I am a prisoner here. If news of this were to get out to the other elemental countries, it would not be good for your village. Kaheru stood, and walked towards the teen girls. You see, you both possess powerful Kake Genkai, and the village just wants to see them continue. So we take your advice, and hope we end up with a man who will care for us, right? Yoshiko asked angrily. Yes, that is it. Kaheru stated, as she neared the girls. Mother will hear about this, and I assure you that she will just have another thing to be angry at the village for. You killed her family with no regard for what you were doing. Yoshiko retorted. We were at war. Kaheru responded in defense. Then why did most of the Senju die during the war, and the Uchiha flourished? Yoshiko inquired. That is because they have a powerful bloodline. Kaheru replied with a smile. No, it is because they did not have to take the hard missions. They remain here at home for the most part. They are just thieves, they steal when it suits them. Now you want to offer us to their sacrificial altar. We refuse. Do I need to call my mother? I did sign the summoning contract. That is the only reason I was able to come and live in the village, instead of continuing my travels with her. Yoshiko commented, as her fist went through the table. Kaheru sighed, as she finally reached the girls. She reached out her arm to touch Haku, only to find that Haku's arm was encased in ice. Don't you dare touch me, you old hag. Let us go now. Haku demanded. Yoshiko turned to Sarutobi. Hokage-sama, I do not appreciate the council attempting to abduct us and forcibly rape us. Sarutobi was shocked by the comment. Well, they're not raping you, yet. The part was under his breath. What do you call being forced to have intercourse with a male against our will? Yoshiko pointed out. Well, they have not forced either of you into a marriage contract. Sarutobi retorted. Hokage-sama, bearing children with a man we do not want, and before we are ready is rape in my book. Yoshiko stated bluntly. I see your point, Kaheru-chan. You are here reprimanded for insulting the Senju clan heir and her honored guests. What do you have to say for yourself? Sarutobi asked. Kaheru bowed her head. My apologies to both Yoshiko-chan and Haku-chan for my indiscretion, please forgive me. Kaheru stated, as she gave the bare minimum respect to Yoshiko's clan. Yoshiko's fiery gaze bore down upon Kaheru. You are forgiven, but please don't let it happen again. Yoshiko turned to see the anger gone from the door. Haku and Yoshiko beat a hasty retreat from the room, as shouts began to erupt from the closed door. The girls left the tower to find Sasuke waiting for them with a smirk on his face. So are you ready to move to the Uchiha complex? Sasuke asked with his eyes closed. Thus he missed the angry looks from both Yoshiko and Haku. He also missed seeing the pair of fists that hit him and sent him into a close building. Bastard. Yoshiko yelled while her fist was still where Sasuke used to be standing. Now shall we go home and discuss what we are going to do for the next 3 weeks? Haku nodded agreement as they left, and Sasuke slowly extracted himself from the wall. The next 3 weeks were spent both training and following a certain blonde. There was also an additional member added to the Senju household, Isuribi. She had come to the village stating that she needed healing from the legendary Sannin. The guards directed her to the hospital, but Yoshiko and Haku intercepted her before she arrived at the hospital. Yoshiko took Isuribi aside to discuss the fact that Haku was the other individual that the fox had mentioned. Isuribi was happy to meet Haku, and the three girls became fast friends. Yoshiko sent a message to Shion with a quick explanation about what was going on. The return message stated that she would be ready when they called upon her. She also was still mourning the loss of her future child. Shion also offered to purify Yoshiko and Naruto at the same time, similar to what she had done before. At the end of the 3rd week the exams had hit the village. Yoshiko and Haku had been asked to sit in on the second part of the exam, to help the medics with dealing with the injured from the test, and Isuribi had come along to watch with the two of the girls. Hinata had not seemed to have yet assimilated her older self, as of yet, so they kept her at a distance, not wanting to affect how things played out. The tests continued, as they had before with Sasuke beating the traitor Yori. Shino easily defeated Zaku. Kankuro defeated Tsurugi. Sakura and Ino knocked each other out. Tamari beat Tenten. Shikamaru beat Kin. Naruto beat Kiba, and Hinata showed her concern for him by giving him a small jar of healing balm yet again. Hinata lost badly to Niji, who earned the ire of Naruto, Yoshiko, Haku, and Isuribi. Naruto had been so moved during the match that he basically took a blood oath to avenge Hinata. Yoshiko was able to repair more damage than the medics had before, and Yoshiko figured she would recover faster this time. Gaara devastated Lee, but Yoshiko was able to assist Lee more quickly than last time. She was able to make sure his injuries were not as severe. And in the final match Dosu knocked Choji for a loop. With the selection of opponents for the 3rd round, the intrepid female trio kept an eye on Naruto from a distance. Yoshiko also kept an eye on both Lee and Hinata at the hospital. Kurenai encountered the trio on their way home from watching Naruto chasing Jiraiya and tricking him into training Naruto. Yoshiko Haim, may I have a word with you? Kurenai asked, as Yoshiko nodded. Haku and Isuribi both headed back to the Senju complex. What can I do for you, Kurenai-san? Yoshiko responded. I would like to thank you for your help with Hinata-chan. She is like a daughter to me. Kurenai explained. It was my pleasure. I just hope Naruto-kan can remove that stick that is up Niji's butt. Yoshiko exclaimed. Kurenai chuckled. I also have to ask you what your intentions are towards Naruto. I have watched you three follow him on several occasions. Yoshiko blushed. I already know that Hinata-san likes Naruto-kan. I was just waiting for a time where I could discuss it with Hinata-san. I know she is incurably shy. I assure you I will not move on to Naruto-kan without talking with Hinata-san. She could even join us in following Naruto-kan. It is great for increasing stealth and stamina when trying to keep up with him. At times he can push your stamina to its limits. Then I am to understand that the heir to both the Hyuga and the Senju both are after the same kid. Kurenai asked with a slight smile. Yoshiko nodded with a large smile. Yep, you got it. Heck, if we actually catch him we might as well share. He does know the shadow clone, by the way. Kurenai blushed at the implications of Yoshiko's statement. You are already planning a life with him. He is only 12. So, I am only 14, as Haku-chan, Isuribi-chan, and Hinata-chan are both also 12. I say we can share. If we also split the bills he will not go broke taking all of us out on dates. Yoshiko said with a smirk. Kurenai's jaw dropped. Here the heir to the Senju clan had just expressed the same desire to be with Naruto that Hinata had also implied her affection toward the blonde several months earlier. If you girls actually do catch him, what do you plan on doing? Kurenai asked, not sure if she wanted to know the answer. Let me think. Yoshiko took a thinking pose. Well, for the first thing I want Naruto-kan to help me rebuild the Senju clan. Yoshiko smirked as Kurenai's jaw again dropped. Just kidding, that is for much later. I know for sure that Haku-chan and Isuribi-chan both want to help Naruto-kan re-establish the Uzumaki clan. With Naruto-kan at the head of both clans, we could help make sure he became the Hokage. With Hinata-chan we would then have the Hyuga backing him also. Yoshiko happily answered. Kurenai was surprised at the thought-out ending that Yoshiko had come up with. When are you girls going to pursue Naruto? Yoshiko smirked. Who says we are not pursuing him now? When Kurenai's jaw again dropped, Yoshiko laughed. We have agreed not to bother Naruto-kan until after the exams. If Hinata-chan wishes to pursue him also we welcome her. Kurenai-san, we are not rabid fangirls like those that pursue the Uchiha. We admire and deeply respect Naruto-kan for what he is and what he stands for. You can rest easy for Hinata-chan because I intend to go ask for my mother's permission to pursue Naruto-kan after the exams. I also have to have a discussion with a certain pervert. Yoshiko looked a little annoyed at that subject. Kurenai looked at Yoshiko and scrutinized her answers. Which pervert are you referring to? Jiraiya, of course. I have a personal matter to discuss with that old fart, but it can wait until he is done training Naruto-kan. I would also like to ask you a favor if I could. Yoshiko's pose turned to desperation. I am afraid the council will try to make it so that Naruto-kun can't marry anyone. This would devastate our entire group. Can you talk to the Hokage-sama about making sure the council does not pull a fast one on Naruto-kun? I am also worried that they may also not allow him to become one, even if he turns out to be qualified. I would marry him no matter what, even if I had to drag him off to the fire daimyo, myself, to do the ceremony. Yoshiko started with a smile. Do you really like him that much? Kurenai honestly asked. Yes, and more. Yoshiko insisted with a blush. Then why are you willing to share with him? Kurenai was interrogated. Naruto-kun is special. He also needs more attention than I am able to give. I have observed over time that he needs connections, and I want to give him one with me, as do the other girls. I do not want to deny those that have genuine feelings to be with him. I have also observed how he has been treated, and I am appalled by it. The way they treat him is like he either has the plague or he has done something unforgivable, and that is just not right. He is bright, cheery, and has a great attitude. There is also more to him than meets the eye. Yoshiko stated almost as if she knew something that others might not. Kurenai put up her hands in surrender. Okay, you win. I will talk to the Hokage about what the council might do. Do you want me to talk to Hinata-chan? No, she has seen us. She will either come to us on her own or end up competing with us. Either way, it is a win-win for all of us. I do think she will eventually come to us, and we can then talk about our mutual affection towards a certain blonde. If she is willing to share, then there is no problem. Heck, it might even help her with her confidence. Yoshiko remarked. Kurenai bowed her head. As you wish for Yoshiko-heim, I will talk to the Hokage about Naruto, and leave the matter of Hinata-chan up to you. Kurenai left in a swirl of leaves. Yoshiko continued home, and opened the gate to find Danzo standing at her front door. She began to grimace. Danzo-san, to what do I owe the pleasure? You will refer to me as Sama when addressing me. Danzo stated. Nope, mom wouldn't do it, so I won't. Yoshiko refuted. So what do you want? Danzo looked at her with his unbandaged eye. I find it odd that the two most eligible females in Konoha are under the same roof, and neither is pursuing the most eligible bachelor. I have come on behalf of Sasuke Uchiha to ask for your hand in marriage. He has already sent the request to the fire daimyo. Here's our one-word answer: no. Haku stated, as she opened the door. Let me make this easy for you, Danzo-sama. No, hell no, no way in hell am I going to marry that brat, Sasuke Uchiha. If the Senju and the Uchiha ever join, it will not be in my generation. If Sasuke finds a willing victim to produce his offspring, then they may try to court my children, but until then he will not have me or my clan. Yoshiko declared. Yes, he didn't get it when we punched him into the store wall the first time. Either that or he likes to be abused. Haku teased. Maybe if I join his fan club he will leave me alone. Yoshiko teased. Nah, he would expect you to take his offer then. Haku rebutted with a chuckle. It would be a great thing for the village to have the two founding families become one. And if they could produce a dual bloodline, then it would be all the better. Danzo declared. Get out of here before I use your cane to break your good arm and leg. Yoshiko warned. Danzo lowered his head and walked away as he shook his head. So what are you going to do about the letter to the daimyo? Haku asked as they both entered the spacious home. Yoshiko grinned, similar to Naruto when he was up to something. I already sent a letter to him stating that if the Uchiha attempted to force a marriage with either of us, I would start a clan war and kill Sasuke. Ouch, you know how to hate him where it hurts. You know you would have helped in the war, right? Haku inquired. I was counting on both of you to help me smear him across the mountain. We would take turns. Yoshiko smirked. I would also have a secondary plan if the daimyo agreed with the council and Sasuke team. Isurbi entered the room with a grin on her face. And what would that be? Sorry, can't tell, it's an S-rank secret. Anyway, I hope Hinata-chan gives her inspirational speech to Naruto-kun at the end of the month. It would be bad if Niji were to actually beat him. Yoshiko contemplated as she sat down on the couch. After dinner, Haku went up to bed, but Yoshiko and Isurbi both stayed downstairs and talked. So why do you get a new body? Isurbi asked. Yoshiko smiled. Well, how would it look if a 50-year-old woman came back to a village she said she would never return to just to shack up with a 12-year-old? Isurbi cringed at the thought. You do have a point. But that isn't your body, is it? Yoshiko pondered the question for a moment. Yes, and no. I am both Yoshiko and Tsunade from our original timeline. Yoshiko was the child I had miscarried during that timeline. Isurbi looked apologetically at Yoshiko. Sorry. I do know that my birth did straighten out mom a little. She is still the same enough that if she meets him the reaction will be the same. We just need to keep things going, as they are. My worry is that Naruto-kun will actually die this time when he goes up against Kabuto. That's the reason we are leaving him alone for now. Yoshiko then grinned again. We get him when he gets back. Isurbi's face turned bright red. No, not that way, we are still too young. How's your training going? Haku-chan has got me up to speed with basic weapons. I am still having a hard time with my studies, sorry. Isurbi responded. I am not even sure we want to become shinobi. Heck, we could have Naruto-kun retire, and have him hit all the gambling halls, cleaning them all out. Yoshiko jested. What about Akatsuki? Not a problem until he comes back from his training trip with Jiraiya. We also want to make sure that he befriends Gaara of the desert. We might also want to contact the Fuma clan, and attempt to sway Sasum to bring the Fuma clan here. Yoshiko commented. Do we have to? That will take months more for us to wait for Naruto-kun. Isaribi complained. I don't like it myself. According to Naruto-kun and Sakura team, Naruto-kun nearly died on that mission too. I am not sure how I would like for us to deal with it. If we let Sasuke go, and work on patching him up after he returns from that mission, he should be truly ready for some companionship then. Also, there are several missions I do want him to go on. Tea and Snow both need to happen, so we have stronger allies. We could help him on the mission to the land of vegetables. We are training, but I don't think mom wants me to become a shinobi. Yoshiko stated. Do we have to share him with Sasum? What about Haruna from vegetables? How many women will we have to share him with? Isaribi again whined. Yoshiko sighed. Okay, we can all confront him after he gets back from going to the land of rice. Then we will tear down Sakura's hold upon him. Okay, let me get this clear. We have you, Haku, Hinata, Yakumo, Shion, and me for starters. That makes 6. We might add Sasum, Haruna, Amaru, and possibly Koyuki. Am I missing anybody? Isaribi stated, as her head began to spin. Yoshiko grinned. Well, if he ends up with that many women, I am sure Anko would want to join in. Shizune might not be too bad, as long as the mother doesn't want to give me a sibling with our future husband. That could make things difficult. Yoshiko replied, as her head also began to hurt. Oh, and what if the pink banshee wants to join because her precious Sasuke has left? Isaribi exclaimed with a deep sigh. Yoshiko then beamed. Then I initiated the Naruto Gala marriage round robin. As a first wife, I decide who he can marry, and who he can't. Haku appeared next to the girls. This caused them both to jump. What is this you have been talking about, marriage, and other women? Yoshiko sighed. Okay, since you are part of this whole wanting to be special to Naruto-kun, in for a shoe in for Ryo. There are a few things we need to tell you. Haku looked shrewdly at the other girls. Okay, first, what we are about to tell you is the truth. Yoshiko paused, as she waited for Haku to acknowledge her point, to which Haku nodded. We are partially from an alternate future. Haku's face became skewered and contorted. That is a new one. Now we're getting to the confusing part. Yoshiko again waited for Haku to nod acknowledgement. Both Isaribi and I have merged spears. I know I am going to regret this, but what does that mean? Haku questioned. Let me tell you a story. Yoshiko began, as Haku nodded. There was a blonde-haired boy who traveled to the Wave country and met a couple of people he found to be special to him. One was named Haku, the other was named Zabuza. I'm following so far, but I already know this story. Haku stated. No, you don't. Haku, in my spears passed you, and Zabuza died at the bridge. I was also never born, at least not in this body. It was never born, and it was miscarried over 14 years ago. Haku looked shocked, as Yoshiko continued. Naruto was a class A idiot, a lovable one, but an idiot. That part of my spirit is Tsunade Senju, my current mother. Naruto had convinced me to come back to Konoha to become Hokage, so that he could eventually become Hokage. He went on several missions, got hurt a lot, made lots of friends, and was just himself. Eventually he met Shion, and saved the world from a demon. She asked him to father a child with her. Naruto-kun being himself didn't know what he had agreed to. Haku's jaw continued to fall further, as the story continued. After some schooling in the birds and the bees, Naruto-kun went to Shion, and they produced a new life. That gets me to the sad part. Shion was about 6 months along when Naruto fought a man named Madara Uchiha. This laid him up in bed for more than a month. Yoshiko began to cry, as she continued. Ikumo Kurama, who you haven't met yet, Hinata Hyuga, Isaribi, and myself, were arguing on the finer points of who wanted Naruto-kun for their groom, but that was never destined to happen. The council had forbidden him to marry anyone just before I had returned to take up the mantle of Hokage. Yoshiko stopped, as she began to sob uncontrollably. Isaribi wrapped Yoshiko into a gentle hug. Haku noticed tears also streaming from Isaribi's eyes, but she also saw anger and hatred in them. You see, Sakura team helped Sasuke team to kill Naruto-kun, Shion-chan, and their unborn baby. Naruto's last act alive was to release the Kyuubi upon Sasuke and Sakura. Haku began to cry at this point. You see, Sasuke had told the village Naruto-kun's secret. He also proclaimed that by killing Naruto he was saving the village from the Kyuubi and any possible offspring he was going to have. The Kyuubi appeared and told a different tale where the Uchiha were going to betray the village. The Kyuubi went on a selective rampage, as it killed all those who had ever hurt Naruto-kun. Yoshiko had compassed herself to a certain extent. Kyuubi offered us a choice to either let him die right there, or we could get Naruto-kun back. Being selfish, we took the deal to get Naruto-kun back. I don't get it, there must have been a cost to bring you back. Haku pointed out. You see, Kyuubi didn't want to die, and the Shinigami offered all of us the deal. You see, the Kyuubi was to give up most of its power, and we gave a small portion of our souls for this. In return we were taken back in time, and put into our own bodies, well, except for me. I was put into my unborn child that I had miscarried. Part of my soul powered life for me to have enough strength. There was also another catch. I also like Naruto-kun. I hold the baby kid of the Kyuubi within me. This was enough for me to survive, and be born. It also helped pull my bloodline to the surface. My mother and Auntie Shizu noticed the seal on my stomach when I was born. Jiraiya checked it out after Naruto-kun had the Kyuubi sealed within him. Thanks to the Tsunade partial soul, and the fox kid in me I know quite a bit. Like my father is Jiraiya, he is also Naruto-kun's godfather. Dad's comment on my seal, this one is better than Minato's by a long shot. I also know that if Naruto-kun dies, then all of us will die. I Suribi, Hinata, Yakumo, Shion, and I. We are tied to him by a bond from the Shinigami. I don't know if you are linked to or not Haku-chan, but the Shinigami wanted you to join us with Naruto-kun. Kyuubi wants Naruto to kill Sasuke, but is being patient. I figure about 3 days before the exams Naruto-kun will contact Kyuubi, and be able to access that power directly. Yoshiko took a deep breath, as she continued to try to compose herself to no avail. So you love him, and are tied to him by fate? Haku asked. Yes, and no. The only fate we have to worry about is that we do not upset the timeline too much, or we do not know what will happen. Also I must be Naruto-kun's first mate, or again we all die. Yoshiko added. Why? Isaribi growled in disappointment. I don't know, that's just the message I received from both Aki and Kyuubi. I believe it will help with the purification process Shion will perform on us when she gets her turn with Naruto-kun. My guess is that I need to be present at that time. Yoshiko added. So you get firsts, and a double team. Not fair. Isaribi huffed in mock pouting. Haku chuckled lightly, catching the attention of the arguing girls. What? Both asked in unison. Well, if what I believe is true about the shadow clones. Haku left a pregnant pause, as both girls moved closer, as if that would cause Haku to talk. Yoshino could have firsts, and then we all could have seconds. Haku stated, as she bit her nail in a seductive pose, and blushed profusely. Both girls fell back on the couch with stupid grins on their faces. Why didn't we think about that? Yoshiko added that she wanted to kick herself. Oh, I also wanted to tell you both the reason why I have been having you both train so hard. The day of the exam finals sound, and sand villages will be invading. I can summon slugs, and Naruto-kun will be able to summon toads, specifically Gamabunta and Gamakichi on that day. We can approach Naruto-kun after he gets back from his mission to find the Sound Village in Rice Country. I will work with Aunt Shizune to make sure he goes on the right missions. After that mission we can work on attempting to date him. He might be at first resistant to it, but we will be able to wear him down. The big problem is getting my mother to agree to the marriage. I know I want to have children, as does Hinata-chan, and you girls, along with Ikumo and Shion. The others will have to wait until he is 17. I do have more information, but I don't think they are ready for it. Yoshiko thought to herself. You're the right kid, how are my child, and my container's first mate doing? Kyuubi's voice echoed in her mind. Fine, Yoshiko-chan has some neat dreams. Aki commented, as Yoshiko blushed profusely, and huffed mentally. My kid has informed me of your plan, and I agree with it. I will do everything I can to make sure it happens. I will attempt to steer him to the training grounds on exam day, you just make sure Hinata is there. Also I say you tried to accompany them on the mission to Rice, so you can help the girl who tried to kill Naruto-kun with the chakra strings. Kyuubi ordered kindly. Again, why are you guys being so nice? I thought you were demons. Yoshiko inquired. Kyuubi chuckled. It is in our best interests to be nice, and you have the Shinigami on your side. So being nice is basically a requirement. Also that person will help sway the Fuyuma clan, along with having Sasune married to Naruto-kun. Yoshiko's only response was oh. Yoshiko's eyes returned to normal, as they had been glazed over for a couple minutes. Are you okay, Yoshiko-chan? Haku asked with a worried look. Yeah, I was just talking to Aki and Kyuubi. Guess I now know what it is like to be Naruto-kun, at least somewhat now. Yoshiko replied. So, how long until we can get together with Naruto-kun? Haku quipped. His birthday is after the exams. If he does the mission to Rice like he did, he will return a couple days before his birthday, and we can help him celebrate, and ignore the festival here in the village. I also figure Hinata will be merged by then, as Ikumo will also have done so. We can invite all those that are not outside of the village. If the timeline keeps true, we will see Sasuke in the hospital, injured from Itachi. Mom will come, and heal him. Naruto will realize that his chances with Sakura are very low. We can talk to him then to help cheer him up. No official dates until after he gets back from Rice, agreed. Yoshiko asked, almost yearning for the others to argue with her logic. Also I will have my mother send us, at least the 3 of us, to possibly recover a dying member of the Fuyuma clan, so that they will be more inclined to come to Konoha. The girls decided to end it there, as Yoshiko and Haku had rounds at the hospital the next day. The days before the exam passed quickly. The council didn't bother the girls at all during this time. Kurenai did visit to inform Yoshiko that Hinata had a message for her. Things going as scheduled. She will meet him on time and make the needed contact. There was also a message from the Hokage that stated Naruto will be free to marry if he likes, and the council will not interfere. This pleased the girls to no end. Training and work kept them busy. The day of the exams came, and the girls attempted to follow Naruto, but lost him when he ducked into an alleyway with Konohamaru. The girls then went home and got all the weapons they could equip themselves without attracting too much attention. Haku also brought along several water bottles as extra ammo. They made it to the arena to find that everything had gone as expected. They found Hinata sitting next to Kiba, although she looked a little pale, as they passed Tsunade to them, acknowledging that she had played her part in inspiring Naruto before he had arrived. The girls found seats in the area between Hinata and Sakura, wanting to keep an eye on the pink-haired girl. The first match was announced as being between Naruto Uzumaki and Niji Hyuga. Everyone left the arena for the observation area, except for Sasuke, who had not arrived yet. Niji began to berate Naruto about fate. Naruto's answer was to just show his fist, as he did after the fight Niji had with Hinata. The match looked like Naruto outmatched the Hyuga genius. Both showed great skill, Naruto using his shadow clones, and Niji using advanced Jyoken techniques. Eventually Niji had closed all of Naruto's chakra points, and proclaimed his victory. Naruto then surprised everyone by reopening his chakra points with the help of Kyuubi's chakra. Naruto then began to use this power to even the playing field with Niji. Eventually Naruto and Niji collided, and this left Niji digging himself out the ground, and Naruto leaving a clone as bait for Niji to gloat over. Naruto had ambushed Niji from underground, and won his match to the excitement of the crowd. Hinata had shown a link with Naruto when he was injured, and was taken to the upper seats, and healed by Kabuto. Kiba delivered her to the hospital, and returned only to be knocked out. Sasuke had been given more time to arrive, as Shikamaru had nearly beaten Temari, only to give up after Kankuro forfeited his match against Shino. Sasuke was given an additional 10 minutes for he still had not arrived yet. All of the girls were appalled that Sasuke had been given several chances to show up, but still had not arrived yet. Right at the last second Sasuke and Kakashi showed up, impressing some, but pissing off others, especially the girls. Soon after the fight began, Lee arrived to show that he was actually feeling better. Ishiko knew he would still need major surgery, but it would not be as hard as it was when she had healed him before. Lee seemed disturbed by Sasuke's match, as he showed off that he had stolen Lee's moves, and now could use them with similar proficiency as Lee. Ishiko and Lee noticed that Sasuke lacked the endurance that Lee had, and had to revert to using the Chidori to attack and injure Gar. This was the turning point, as it was cast upon the arena. All three girls broke them for themselves, and proceeded to sneak over to Naruto. Kakashi gave an order for Sakura to wake Naruto, and Shikamaru to go after Sasuke, who had chased after Gar and his siblings. Ishiko took one sad look at the roof of the building of Sarutobi, and Akazukiage, actually Orochimaru, as the building became surrounded by a black barrier. A tear fell from her eye, as she said goodbye to her former sensei, and Hokage. The three girls snuck out of the arena in pursuit of Naruto, Sakura, Shikamaru, and packing Kakashi's summons. After taking out several sound shinobi, as they moved to an area Yoshiko knew to be the final battle area. The girls had actually taken out a second pursuit team that was never been mentioned in the original reports she had read while she was Hokage. They watched from afar, as Sasuke got his butt handed to him by Gar, and then they saw how Naruto had saved him from imminent death. They watched, as Gar pummeling Naruto, Yoshiko watched, and saw the seesaw battle go until Naruto finally got inspired. They then watched in awe, as Naruto pulled one move after another, as he returned the beating he had received from Gar several thousandfold. Both finally exhausted, Gar was given the advantage, and began to surround Naruto with his sand. Naruto, by all impossible odds, summoned Gamabunta. Thus began yet another battle, as Gamabunta and Naruto began to fight Shikaku. Naruto and Gamabunta for a short time transformed into the Kyuubi. The girls all smiled at this. The battle ended with Naruto punches Gar in the face, and both falling to the ground, as they had dismissed both Gamabunta and Shikaku moments before they traded blows. While Gar had been forced to dismiss Shikaku, and Gamabunta could no longer battle, so he and Gamakichi left for home. Both boys hit the ground hard, but Naruto continued to crawl towards Gar, sending fear through the chibi container. They saw fear in his eyes, as Sasuke rescued Sakura, and then moved to reassure Naruto that she was safe. Haku sighed sadly. The girls appeared, as Naruto passed out, and began to administer first aid, as the Sand siblings fled the scene. The things that concerned the girls were that Sasuke's face showed that his curse seal showed that he no longer had it under his control. Yoshiko pronounced that Naruto was suffering from chakra exhaustion, and Haku stated that Sakura had a couple cracked ribs. The girls each took one person, as they headed back to the village. Yoshiko took Naruto, Isurbi took Sasuke, and Haku took Sakura on their shoulders, as they made their way back to the village. They stopped to help render assistance to Shino and his father after Kankuro had poisoned Shino. Upon reaching the village, they dropped off everyone at the hospital, and Yoshiko and Haku had to work. Isarabi left so that she could get out of the way, but was stopped by Kurenai. Naruto woke to find 4 girls in his hospital room, Haku who was reading his chart and smiling, Yoshiko who was adjusting an IV bag, Hinata who just smiled at him while sitting next to him her own hospital gown, and finally there was a pale brown-haired girl who just smiled while she sat next to Hinata. Hinata spoke up first. "Good morning Naruto-kun." This caused the other girls to turn and look at Naruto. All smiled warmly at him. He was not sure what to do so he began by smiling. "Morning Hinata, how are you?" Hinata blushed then spoke. "I am better now Naruto-kun, thank you. I would like to thank you for helping my family, especially Niji-Nisen." Naruto grinned broadly. "See, I keep my promises, Hinata. I also think I pulled that stick out of his ass." Yoshiko and Haku both giggled at Naruto's statement, but Yakumo and Hinata both blushed and put their hands over their mouths to stifle their giggles. "Yes Naruto-kun, I think you did, you also made a friend of him," Yoshiko replied. Naruto blushed and became embarrassed. "I have 2 questions." Haku smiled and nodded at Naruto. "And what would those be, Naruto-kun?" Naruto took a deep breath. "Is Sakura-chan okay?" Yoshiko moved over and put her hand on Naruto's head. This caused Naruto to blush. "She had minor injuries, Haku-chan, and I arrived just after your battle with Gaara of the desert. Haku-chan treated her for cracked ribs and a concussion. Sasuke had minor bruises and was suffering from chakra exhaustion. You my dear." Yoshiko drug the deer out seductively as she touched his chin affectionately. "Suffered from chakra exhaustion, broken ribs, a broken right arm, internal bruising, and bleeding. You took a pounding out there. I am just glad we were there to help you. So what is your second question?" Naruto began to stutter. "Why are all you girls here in my room?" Hinata began to giggle. "Because silly, we all care about you Naruto-kun," Hinata explained. Yakumo stood and bowed to Naruto. "I am Yakumo Kurama of the Kurama clan. I am here because I owe you a debt and have watched you from afar. As a matter of fact we all have." Naruto looked around the room and saw that all the girls nodded in turn as his gaze fell upon them. "Huh? Why watch me, and not the team, I mean Sasuke?" Yoshiko sat on the bed next to Naruto, to which he blushed. "Because we find that there is more to you than the stuck-up Uchiha. We prefer our mystery man of the happy variety." Naruto looked around the room again, only to see them all nod again. A nurse entered the room and looked around the room seeing 3 house heirs, and the newest medic who also had a bloodline all in the demon's room. "The Naruto, you will be released in a couple hours. Yoshiko-sama and Haku-chan, there are other patients that require care. Can you go check on Sasuke-sama please?" Yoshiko's and Haku's faces both turned dark for an instant. Only Hinata and Yakumo noticed. Yoshiko in the most sickly sweet voice she could muster replied. "But of course I would love to dote over the last of the great Uchiha. Wouldn't you Haku-chan?" Naruto noticed the sarcasm and suppressed a grin. "But of course I would love to spend some time with Sasuke-chan. Shall we go?" Haku replied with the most evil grin Naruto had ever seen cross the girl's face. He almost felt sorry for Sasuke, almost. The nurse, Yoshiko, and Haku all left the room, as the remaining inhabitants laughed heartily. Hinata blushed. "Naruto-kun, please be safe." Hinata got up, gently placed her hands upon Naruto's cheeks, and then planted a passionate kiss on Naruto's lips. She then left the room, as she smiled longingly at Naruto who wore a stupid grin. Naruto after a few minutes a confused look came upon his face, as he watched the doorway where Hinata had left a little bit ago. What was that all about? Yakumo blushed. "I will tell you in a month or so. Until then do not dwell on it. Just remember you have friends, and we all care about you, Naruto-kun. I must take my leave of you or I will be late for my own checkup. Have a good day, and be safe." Yakumo stood and bowed to Naruto. She then left not sure if she had said too much or not. She was almost sure that Hinata was pushing the envelope, but he needed to get a clue, even if they had to strip him down and have their way with him, then so be it. Naruto called after her. "Goodbye Yakumo-san, and it was nice to meet you." Naruto heard what he thought was Haku screaming, and then a second later Sasuke screamed like a girl. Naruto chuckled at the thought of Haku pushing an ice into Sasuke's backside. Kakashi entered the room. "Yo. How is my hyperactive student? Not causing too much trouble for the staff are you?" Kakashi asked nonchalantly. Naruto folded his arms and fed at Kakashi. "No, actually they are kicking me out later today." Kakashi raised an eyebrow. "Good job in getting Sasuke to safety. I understand that he was exhausted after fighting Gar." Naruto eyed his sensei. "You could say that. If Hiro-sennin hadn't taken the time to train me a lot of people would be dead now." Sasuke was only able to injure Gar, but he only awakened his anger and made fighting him that much worse. Kakashi flashed a look of anger and then waved as he left. "Glad to see you feeling better. The Hokage's funeral will be tomorrow, full funeral attire. We will meet on top of the tower for the ceremony." "I'm sorry Naruto." Kakashi looked back sadly, as Naruto felt devastated by the reality that Sarutobi, the third Hokage, and his adoptive grandfather was now dead. The rest of Naruto's day went by him in a blur. He later just went home and went to bed. The funeral was attended by the whole village, even those who could be wheeled to the event even attended. Yoshiko was able to be up on the tower with the shinobi. She heard Iruka, Naruto, and Kakashi talk about the loss to the village, as Iruka attempted to comfort Konohamaru. Yoshiko later watched, as Kakashi teasingly told Naruto how to create a Chidori, knowing full well that he would not teach him that. She also overheard the conversation between Sakura and Sasuke, where he awarded the credit for saving her to Naruto, even after Sakura insisted that Naruto could never have accomplished it. Yoshiko also noticed the look in Sasuke's eyes of resentment towards Naruto, for being able to defeat an opponent that he couldn't. Yoshiko visited Naruto the next morning an hour before Jiraiya took him out of the village to go find Tsunade. Yoshiko knocked on Naruto's door. Naruto opened the door a few moments later in only his boxers. "Yo, what is it?" Naruto asked sleepily. Yoshiko chuckled at Naruto's state of undress. "Do you answer the door in your boxers all the time, Naruto-kun?" Naruto chuckled in embarrassment as he realized that he was not even dressed. He dashed back into his apartment only to leave the door open. Yoshiko stepped in and took off her sandals. "May I come to Naruto-kun?" Yoshiko heard Naruto respond from farther in the apartment. "Yeah, sure, you can come in. So what is your visit for?" Yoshiko blushed as she lied to Naruto. "I just wanted to check up on you after your discharge from the hospital and after the funeral. I know you were close to him, and it was just kind of strange that they let you out before your wounds should not have been fully healed." Naruto came before her in a black t-shirt with an orange Konoha leaf symbol on the front, and his normal pants. "Oh, they do that to me all the time, except for Dr. Kakio. She is one of the ones that makes sure I am alright before she says I can go. There are a couple of nurses that watch over me too." Yoshiko used her index finger to indicate that she wanted Naruto to approach her, so Naruto complied, as Yoshiko kissed him on the forehead. "Now you have 2 more nurses that will watch over you. You also have others that will also watch over you." Naruto blushed, but also wore a confused look on his face. "Do you mean Haku-chan too?" Naruto asked, as Yoshiko nodded. "So what was with Hinata-chan?" Naruto whispered the term of endearment. Yoshiko looked wryly at Naruto. "What do you mean?" Naruto looked frustrated. "Well, I was hoping my first kiss would be with Sakura-chan, but some guy bumped into me, and I kissed Sasuke-team," Naruto stated with much revulsion, as Yoshiko politely chuckled at Naruto's troubles. "And then when all you girls were in my room, Hinata-chan kissed me on the lips when she left." Yoshiko smiled warmly at Naruto. "So you are worried that Sakura-san will hear about this, and be angry?" Naruto nodded at the question. "I am sure if you ask Hinata-chan she wouldn't mind doing it again. I'm tempted to kiss you too." Yoshiko's statement causes fear to creep into Naruto's face. "Don't worry, I will not kiss you yet. It is not time, and we do not know each other well enough yet." "Ryu, that is a relief. I was worried that all you girls were going to kiss me all at once," Naruto stated. "Would you like that, Naruto-kun?" Yoshiko's question caused Naruto to wonder if he did. "No matter, please sit on the bed, and sit still," Yoshiko ordered, as she began a diagnostic on Naruto. Jiraiya came in just as she had moved over his pelvis. "Entertaining girls in your home now, are we, Naruto? You are a boy after my own heart, and Princess Tsunade's daughter no less. I'm impressed." Jiraiya started with a leer. As Yoshiko blushed, Jiraiya didn't fail to notice this reaction, as she finished her diagnostic. "Shut up, Yoro-senin," Naruto replied in an annoyed voice. "What are you doing here anyways?" Jiraiya smirked, and pointed at Yoshiko. "We are going to go retrieve a beautiful woman, her mother to be exact. And I am going to give you some training on the way. I have already cleared it with Kakashi and the council, so we are off." Yoshiko bowed, as Naruto began to collect items for a trip to retrieve someone. "Excuse me, Master Jiraiya, but am I going along too?" Jiraiya looked at her, and bade her to approach. "Naruto, you get ready, I have to talk to Yoshiko-chan here." Jiraiya turned to Yoshiko, and spoke in hushed tones. "I hope you know what you are doing. That boy may not want to be involved with you. I will also leave it to you to explain to your mother about what you want from him, and you do not have to come on this mission. I had set it up so it would be me and Naruto. Thank you for your concern, Master Jiraiya, but I will eventually worm my way into his heart. He is not so hard to understand, less so than people might think. He is bright and talented. If he were given a chance he could prove that. As for not telling my mother, I thank you for that. I will inform her when I see her again," Yoshiko assured Jiraiya. "Just don't let him break your heart. You know, when he puts his mind to something he will not give up easily or possibly at all. From what I have seen, he has it hard for the pink-haired girl on his team," Jiraiya warned her. "She doesn't care for him, so she will lose to me, as I do care for the boy," Yoshiko replied, as she kept an eye on Naruto out of the corner of her eye. "But does he know about it? If not, then he will be oblivious to it, and he may not even be able to love." Jiraiya started with a very saddened look on his face. "You know something about him, and his hard life, don't you?" Yoshiko questioned. "Nothing I can tell you. I wish you luck in your quest," Jiraiya graciously stated, as he put a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Jiraiya turned to Naruto, and spoke up. "Time to go, we have to catch an important woman, now let's go." "Yeah, I just hope he is not going to peek at your mother in some bath," Naruto stated, as he approached the two at his door. Yoshiko giggled, as she knew that Tsunade had nearly killed him for that once, as Jiraiya played at the notion of peeking on Tsunade. Good luck Naruto-kun, I will wait for your safe return. Yoshiko called, as the two males walked towards the gates. Naruto waved at Yoshiko, smiled, and waved back. The other 4 members of the Naruto fan club hid, as Naruto left the village. Yoshiko eventually saw Guy bring back Sasuke later that same day. She knew how to fix the problem, but lacked the chakra control. She needed to have more chakra control to fix that Itachi had placed upon Sasuke, but also knew that her mother would have to fix it, so that Naruto would see how little Sakura thought of him, even for helping his rival, and her crush. Her work with Lee left him only needing major surgery from her mother, not life-threatening surgery. It would take some work for Tsunade to figure out the details of the surgery. Yoshiko knew it, but did not want to share, as it would create more possible problems with the timeline, when she didn't want them to appear just yet. Yoshiko notified the hospital that she would be taking a week or 2 off in a couple weeks. Haku and Isaribi were concerned, and asked why. Yoshiko's answer was simple. I need to be there for Naruto-kun on his return trip. If I can make a connection to him, it will be easier for him to take a break from Sakura. I also need to confront my mother and father. You know who your father is? Haku asked, as Isaribi listened intently. Believe it or not, Jiraiya is my father. And this way I will have them in the same place at once, so I can get them to admit to it. I can also inform them that I know that I am like Naruto-kun. I also know that Naruto-kun will suffer a near-fatal injury, only my mother can fix it, but I want to be there to help if I can. I will try not to interfere, but he will need extensive healing, as will everyone that is coming back. Jiraiya will suffer broken ribs, and a broken ankle. Shizune will suffer from torn Achilles tendons, and Mom will suffer from using her healing. Yoshiko commented. I forgot that little tidbit, sorry. Then go bring our man back to us, and make sure he is okay. Now that people are getting back to work, we will have less to do at the hospital. I am sure we can live without you at the hospital for a little while. We also will continue to train. We have added both Hinata-chan and Yakumo-chan to the training regime. Kurenai-san has also asked if she and the rest of her team could join us in our training, as has Asuma-san. I am not sure how to answer. They seem to want to have their teams work on chakra control, and have one of their team members become a medic. We have that already with Hinata-chan, and Yakumo isn't even a shinobi or shinobi trained. We have been slowly working on her stamina and strength. Haku replied with a sly smile. Yoshiko nodded, as she assimilated the information. Since when have you guys been working with Yakumo-chan? It happened a couple days ago when both her Anbu doctor and Kurenai-san gave her a clean bill of health. Kurenai also offered up Anko-san to be a possible sensei for our group if we actually become shinobi. Isaribi replied. Well, we have 4 females, 2 have been truly trained, the other 2 have no practical training. That would be Haku, and me with the actual training. Well, Yakumo-chan and Isaribi-chan are talented, they do not have actual training. The best we could hope for would be that we would be a team with either Haku-chan or I become the sensei. Otherwise we would have to be split. We are also heavy in medical training. I am afraid we might also have to take Sakura into our little group, if only to make sure she gets medical training. Isaribi-chan could get some training in Taijutsu, but Yakumo-chan is our weak point. While she is strong, she needs to be stronger in both Taijutsu and Ninjutsu. Yoshiko pointed out. I am working with Guy on Taijutsu training. He and Lee seem quite willing to help me. Yakumo-chan would not be able to keep up with their schedule. I can only last for about 30 minutes on their schedule, but they do enjoy the company. Oh, and I will not wear that ridiculous spandex outfit. I do not want to be seen, as if I were wearing nothing at all. It leaves little to the imagination. I would rather go naked than wear that outfit, but if Naruto-kun wanted me to wear it, I would for him, and only him. Isaribi admitted with a blush, as the other 2 girls laughed. The next week was spent working at the hospital, and training. Kurenai's full team showed up if they were not doing missions, only Ino from Asuma's team showed up for the training. Yoshiko and Haku were taskmasters in training, even pushing Kurenai near her limits in both physical and mental abilities. Yoshiko would work with everyone in the fields of medicine, either with plant knowledge, poison knowledge or medicinal knowledge. Haku focused on the physical. This left everyone that attended the training worn out physically and mentally. Yakumo made tremendous strides in improving her physical abilities. She went from being a weak, barely able to move girl to actually having the physical abilities of a second-year academy student. Kurenai was pleased with her progress, and was not at all worried if she actually hurt herself, as there were 2 trained medical personnel ready to render assistance. Kiba and Shino added to the training with their knowledge of both animals and insects. After a week of intensive training, Yoshiko gave them all a book project to work on, while she would be off on a trip to find her mother. Haku would continue the training, but at a much slower pace, as they would only have 1 medic ready to go. Yoshiko left the village with little fanfare other than an Anbu with the symbol of Northeast on his mask. The Anbu finally left her alone after about half a day's travel out of the village. Yoshiko was glad to have gotten rid of the root member. Although she did run into a couple bandits along the way, she made short work of them, as she continued on her way to Otafukugai, and the meeting she would have with Naruto-kun, Jiraiya, Shizune, and her good old mother. She entered the town, and booked a room in the inn that she knew they would be staying in. She got to the baths, and soaked for a couple hours before she knew they would arrive. She came up to her room just as Naruto, Jiraiya, Shizune, and Tsunade began to enter their rooms. Yoshiko began to run, as she headed towards Tsunade. Mom. Tsunade turned, and looked at Yoshiko in surprise. Yoshiko-chan. What are you doing here? I had a guess that Naruto-kun would find you, and I figured that you would stay here, and so I decided to meet you on your way back. I miss you, mother. Yoshiko embraced Tsunade. Naruto blanched, and pointed at Yoshiko and Tsunade. Do you mean she's your mother? The fear was evident in his voice. Yoshiko nodded. Yes, Naruto-kun, she is my mother. Naruto continued to stammer out his opinions. But she is old enough to be my grandmother. Tsunade became angry, and the vein on her temple appeared. Listen here, brat. Yoshiko placed her hand on her mother's arm to calm her. Yes, she is old enough to be your grandmother, but she is also old enough to be your mother too. She is my mother, and I am only 14. So are you going to apologize, or do I let my mother go so she can make you apologize to her, Naruto-kun? Naruto looked defeated, and dropped his head down in defeat. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear that, brat, Tsunade stated, wanting to milk the situation for all it was worth. Yoshiko swatted her mother. Mother, be nice to Naruto-kun. It suddenly hit her that Yoshiko was referring to Naruto in an affectionate tone. Naruto-kun. What have you been doing while I was not around, the young lady? Yoshiko gave her mother a firm stare. We will discuss this in a little bit after you have gotten settled. Yoshiko pushed Tsunade into her room, as Shizune closed the door behind them. Okay, young lady, what is going on? Yoshiko took a deep breath. Look, mom, I found out some things, and want to confirm them. Tsunade's eyebrow rose quizzically. And those are? Did Naruto-kun convince you to return, as the new Hokage? Yoshiko asked, as she sat on the floor. Why, yes he did, he can be quite a persuasive person. Tsunade stated, as she continued to reminisce about the last few days. Is Naruto-kun the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi? Yoshiko went for the jugular. Tsunade was immediately pulled from her stupor. Who told you that? Yoshiko sighed. I just felt it. Tsunade shook her head. How did I get a daughter who could predict the future? To answer your question, yes, this is I shouldn't have told you that, but if you know, then no need to keep it a secret. So he is like me? Yoshiko exclaimed. Tsunade sighed. Yes, and no. He was not born with a spirit sealed within him. I can't tell you which spirit he has sealed within him, but you might not want to get too close to him. Yoshiko became very angry. I know he has the Kyuubi in him, like Gar, Hashikaku, Kurabi has the 8 tails, and Yujiro Nai has the 2-tailed cat sealed within her. Shizune gasped. Tsunade looked concerned at her daughter. How do you know this? Aki told me. Yoshiko stated bluntly. You are bending the truth, as I have never told you this. Just don't get me in trouble, let's see how far we can take this. Aki stated in her mind. I know that, but they don't, so we can just wing it, and if they ever figure it out, then we worry about it then. Yoshiko replied mentally. Who's Aki? Tsunade asked pointedly. Aki is my burden, my demon. I have talked to her. She knows that Naruto-kun houses the Kyuubi. She also says that I can help Naruto-kun because I possess the Mokuton ability like my great-grandfather. I just need training. Yoshiko replied. Okay, let's say that we believe in Aki, and you do possess the Mokuton ability. Why the sudden interest in Naruto? Tsunade asked, as Yoshiko blushed. No, you can't tell me that you actually like the boy. Yoshiko nodded with a blush. I know we are still young, and he is only 12, and soon to be 13, but there is a connection that I can't deny. Are you sure it isn't your demon telling you this, and steering you towards him? Tsunade asked. Yoshiko nodded. Naruto-kun is the nicest person I have met. He cares for others, and is quite strong, no thanks to others' sabotage. I believe I can help him, and he can help me. It is almost as if we were meant to be together. Please, mother, do not deny me this. Yoshiko pleaded. Tsunade sighed heavily. Geez, if I knew being a parent would have been this taxing, I would have opted to not have one. Tsunade relented. Okay, you can date him, but he will have to come over for dinner, and make himself presentable. Yoshiko nodded, but worry crept into her face. What is it now? Well, a couple things. Naruto-kun never had a proper upbringing, and is a little rough around the edges. Yoshiko replied shyly. Rough around the edges. Like broken glass or rough gravel, but I understand what you mean. You can help him become more presentable. What else is there? Tsunade inquired. Well, there are a couple of other girls that are living at the compound. Yoshiko braced herself for her mother to yell at her. When it never came, she looked up, and saw that her mother wanted her to continue. One also has a bloodline, one having to do with ice, Naruto-kun, and I saved her at a bridge named after Naruto-kun. The other might have a bloodline, but has had her genetics messed with by Orochimaru. We are hoping to help her become more presentable or finish the bloodline surfacing. Okay, that is fine. Is there anything else like all of you liking Naruto? Tsunade asked, as she saw Yoshiko freeze. No, not all of you. Yoshiko shook her head. So only a couple of you. Yoshiko again shook her head. How many? Yoshiko put up both hands. 10. What did this boy do to get that many girls to fall for him? Yoshiko shrugged. Anything else I should know? Yoshiko nodded. Yes mother, I know who my father is. Tsunade froze this time. I am sure you can guess who it is, but I do know. Yoshiko was adamant about her knowledge. Okay, who is it? Tsunade asked with a smirk. Jiraiya. Yoshiko answered, as Tsunade's jaw dropped. I am glad that I know who he is. I do not plan on following in his footsteps, as a lecturer. Good, too bad I didn't actually marry the old fool. You might have had a sibling. So show me your Mokuton ability. Tsunade started to change the subject. Yoshiko placed her hands together, and a small banzai-like tree rose out of the floor. I can do a little more than that, but it takes a lot of concentration. I wonder if Naruto-kun has a similar bloodline. Great, I have a crazy boy, and she is after one who has half the village chasing him. Tsunade complained. No mother, most of the village detests him. It is changing, but it will take time. As far as I know, Haku-chan, Hinata Hyuga-chan, Isurabi-chan, Yukuma Kurama-chan, and Shion from the Land of Demons have true feelings for Naruto-kun, but I have a feeling that there will be others. Yoshiko corrected her mother. Tsunade shook her head. 3 clan heiresses, a priestess, and 2 others right now. Does Naruto know about this? Yoshiko shook her head. No, Naruto-kun is fixated on his teammate Sakura Haruno. She abuses him, and demeans him at every turn in favor of her other teammate Sasuke Uchiha, who I might add is currently in the hospital because of his brother Itachi. Sakura currently will not even leave his side to even train. Thus we head back to Konoha, and fix things tomorrow. Tsunade admitted. Thank you mother. Yoshiko stated, as she lunged into a hug with Tsunade. For what? Tsunade asked, confused. To understand how I feel about Naruto-kun, and about everything else. Yoshiko admitted. Tsunade tightened the embrace with Yoshiko. I am your mother, and I understand first love. Just don't let him hurt you. Yoshiko nodded. I want to spend some time with Naruto-kun, maybe I can steal him out from under the pink head, while she doesn't even know what she has. Tsunade nodded, as she continued to hug Yoshiko, but also warned her. I do not want any grandchildren anytime soon. You can do that when you reach 18 years old. Deal. Yoshiko blushed and nodded, as she left. Yoshiko entered the bathhouse knowing full well that Jiraiya was there, and that Naruto was not. She kept the towel tight to herself. Well, we have a young Kunoichi in training. You are a little young for my tastes. Your boyfriend has already left. Jiraiya stated in a boisterous voice. Yoshiko gently sat in the water. Master Jiraiya, I wish to speak to you without Naruto-kun around. Jiraiya became deathly serious. What did you wish to discuss? Yoshiko smiled innocently. My parentage. Jiraiya looked confused. What about your parentage? About you being my father. Yoshiko replied with a smile. Jiraiya's face became pale. You are my daughter, but Tsunade Haim said it was someone else. No, you are my father, just like I have a 2-tailed fox sealed within me by the Shinigami. I came here to tell you this, and to ask you a favor. Yoshiko admitted. You have a demon fox sealed within you. Jiraiya looked quizzically at Yoshiko. Yes, like Naruto-kun, but not as powerful. Yoshiko admitted. Is that why you pursue Naruto? Jiraiya questioned. No, I pursue him because I feel more than a connection with him, I think I love him. Yoshiko started with a blush. Strong words from a 14-year-old. Jiraiya stated. Yes they are, but he has a certain magnetism about him that I find appealing. I have already gotten permission to date him from my mother. Now for that favor, could you train Naruto-kun to protect himself from those that are out to get him? Yoshiko pleaded. How do you know about people that are out to get him? Jiraiya inquired. Demons learn things, and mine talks to me. It is afraid of my Mokuton abilities, so it is helping me. Yoshiko replied. So you are like your great-grandfather the first? Jiraiya questioned, as Yoshiko nodded. So what can I do to help you with this? You know he is fixated on that Haruno girl. That will come in time. He will see her for what she is, an uncaring girl who would just use him for her own ends to get into the pants of Uchiha. Yoshiko stated with much venom in her voice. I take it you don't like her. Jiraiya replied with a chuckle. Nope, not really. Yoshiko admitted with a smile. Well, Dad, I need to get out and start my courting of Naruto Uzumaki. I figure it should take at least a couple years before I can get him to marry me. What do you think? If he is smart he will give up now, and become my son-in-law, as soon as your mother will let him. Jiraiya replied with a lecherous grin. I advise you not to use us for your novels. If I get my way he will know about you being my father, and all the money you made from the books. Yoshiko started with a smirk, and exited the bath with a wave. You're nearly as bad as your mother. Maybe I should ask her to marry me. Jiraiya said to no one in particular. You should hurry up then, as there might still be a chance I could have a sibling. Yoshiko telegraphed over her shoulder, as she entered the changing room. Yoshiko smirked, as she closed the door, and got dressed. She smiled inwardly, as it would be nice if her mother would actually go with her feelings, and marry the old pervert. It would save her heart from breaking, him from beatings, and maybe his later death at the hands of pain. A single tear came from her eye as she remembered the news of his demise. Yoshiko left the building just as a group of elderly women entered the changing room. She couldn't help but smirk at what was going to happen today. Naruto-kun, in an admirable display of chivalry, would force Tsunade to see that her gambling ways were not so helpful to being a Hokage. She eventually found Naruto, or at least one of Naruto's clones. She had to admit he cleaned up better than she thought about it. She found out it was a clone by pulling it into an ally to get it away from Shizune, who had used a transformation just to appear as Tsunade. "Shut up and kiss me if you want to hide from my mother," Yoshiko demanded, and the clone showed his lack of experience kissing by puckering his lips and making a fishy face. "No, relax, and do it like this." Yoshiko then proceeded to kiss Naruto. Once he understood what to do, she found him to actually be a good kisser. That was until an angry Tsunade smacked Naruto in the back of the head. He then disappeared in a puff of smoke. Yoshiko was angry. "Mother, I was working on getting him to dinner, and look what you did. I am betting he doesn't even know that a shadow clone's memory transfers back to the original. Now look at all the work you have destroyed." Yoshiko knew it was Shizune, but showed a righteous indignation at her kiss being disturbed. Shizune released the hand only to be pummeling by Yoshiko, as she yelled, "Stay out of my love life." Shizune disappeared in a puff of smoke. Another Shizune came around the corner rather angry. "What were you doing kissing Naruto-kun?" "Trying to hide him from you apparently so that I could ask him to dinner after we got back to Konoha, but you had to interfere." Yoshiko retaliated. "Don't take that tone with me, young lady," Shizune ordered. "Auntie, you ruined my perfect way to show Naruto-kun that I care about him. You don't care about my life." Yoshiko ran off crying. Shizune looked down and was saddened. "I thought I was just protecting Tsunade-sama. Wait, I got him." Shizune ran off in another direction. Shizune and Tsunade form and catch Naruto with the suitcase he had taken. Tsunade, Yoshiko, and Boss Shiracho looked on in awe as Naruto attempted to get away from Shizune and hand the case to a couple of hired men, trying to make good on a debt Tsunade owed. Eventually it was all straightened out, as the money had been paid back at an earlier date. Shizune was quite embarrassed by the whole affair. She also had to explain why Yoshiko was upset in front of Naruto. Naruto was surprised to say the least, as the memories of the clone came slowly to him. He looked at Yoshiko, who was blushing, and smiled kindly at him. He blushed in return. "Naruto-kun, will you be our guest for dinner when we return to Konoha?" Yoshiko asked, as Naruto just nodded. She then leaned up to Naruto and kissed him on the cheek. She then whispered into his ear, "I meant the other one too." Naruto thought about that, and the kiss that Hinata had given him, and probably fainted to the laughter of everyone else. Naruto enjoyed the trip back home to Konoha. An older girl had kissed him, and his clone. The big problem for him was how to deal with Sakura-chan and Hinata-chan when he returned. Sure, Yoshiko was pretty and nice to him, if only a little bossy, but compared to Sakura-chan she was a saint. When did I start to think of Hinata as Chan? And would Yoshiko be Chan too? He kept on glancing over at Yoshiko every so often, as she talked to her mother, Tsunade, who was now the 5th Hokage. He wondered what they were talking about. Yoshiko noticed every glance that Naruto made her way, and blushed every time just like he did. She was not sure what was going through the other blonde genin's mind, but she was sure she was at least playing a part in it. "So mom, do you have any problems with me, maybe eventually marrying that boy?" Yoshiko inquired. "You have been on your own for 2 years now, just so long, as I don't get any grandchildren until he is at least 16, after that I don't care. What has caused your interest other than being able to talk to your tenant?" Tsunade asked her daughter, not sure she actually wanted to know. Yoshiko smirked, and just couldn't help herself. "Well, Hinata-chan told me that he was the most capable male in their class." Yoshiko replied, and blushed profusely. Tsunade stopped dead. "You didn't just say that, did you? Have you involved the daughter of the Hyuga along with yourself already?" Yoshiko could not help but keep the tease going. "Well, Yakumo Kurama-chan is also interested in him too, I did mention this before." Yoshiko got a faraway look on her face. "And there is also Haku-chan, and Isuribi-chan. How did he get such a fan club?" Tsunade was astonished that this boy had such a following of prestigious females, while inwardly she chuckled that the Uchiha boy could only get fangirls. "Well, it helps that he is so cute, and does not fight us or run away. Also, we do not follow him blindly, and chase after him. We are working our way into his head and heart slowly. We all know he is only an unrefined boy of 12. I also have my bets that his paternity is actually of royal or noble blood," Yoshiko pointed out. Tsunade looked at her daughter, as if she was someone else. "What makes you think that?" Yoshiko put her hand up to Tsunade's ear. "He is the spitting image of Minato Namikaze. Pull off the whisker marks, and you have his near double. Of course you would actually have to feed him a proper diet. I have seen him, and he is undernourished for his age. Looking at his clothes you would think he was the proper weight, but both of us know he is very underweight. So you want to marry up, or so you think? What if I can prove that he is not the son of Yondaime?" Tsunade inquired. "Want to lose another bet with my mother?" Yoshiko asked playfully. "Okay, let's say you're right. Why has he not been honored for who he is?" Tsunade asked. Maybe because his parents are dead, and they had many enemies, like say Iwa, or members of the Konoha Council. I am betting they are even now trying to make it, so that Naruto-kun can't marry anyone or be happy later in life. He is the innocent party in this whole deal, but the village pushes all their anger and fear upon Naruto-kun. Yoshiko sadly stated. I bet you even thought of him as Kyuubi first, and then as Naruto-kun afterwards. Tsunade lowered her head in shame. What do you want, Yashi-chan? Yoshiko smiled broadly. I want to help with his mission assignments. I also want you to make me either a shinobi or give me a means to help him on some of his assignments. I also want to determine who can marry Naruto-kun. I would also like to create my own team. I already have some people in mind. Tsunade was taken aback. Will he agree to that? Yoshiko nodded with a smile. Yes, mother, I am sure he will agree. He has already met most of his fan club while he was in the hospital. There are 5 of us now in Konoha, but more may come around eventually. Are the members of your team also members of the fan club? Tsunade asked with a perverted leer. Yoshiko nodded. Mostly, okay, yes they are. I will give you a rundown of the fan club. First there is me, then there is Hinata Hyuga, Yakumo Kurama, the priestess Shion, Haku-chan, and I Tsurubi-chan. Hinata-chan is already on a team, and all the others are not shinobi. Haku-chan and I are shinobi trained. Kurenai-san suggested we have Anko Mitarashi be our instructor. Haku-chan and I are of at least or even a higher level. My one question would be, would you treat Naruto-kun first before any other injured parties on a mission? Tsunade asked in all seriousness. Yoshiko smiled. No, Naruto-kun has enhanced healing and stamina recovery. I would triage the injured as expected. Both Haku-chan and I are fairly good medics. So I would say we were a medical team with some unique abilities in a fight. Tsunade gave Yoshiko a sidelong glance. What are your capabilities? I am similar to you and Jiraiya in that I am a brawler with enhanced strength and a fairly good arsenal of, mostly water, earth, and of course Mokutin. Haku-chan is an ice expert so she knows water, some wind, and heighten. Yakumo is an expert. Tsurubi is a water expert and a fair brawler. Yoshiko responded. Sounds like you have an overbalanced team for short range and are medical users. Yakumo doesn't have any taijutsu I assume. Tsunade asked. You are correct, but we are working on that deficiency. She is weak, but her strength is increasing every day with our training. Yoshiko added. Tsunade sighed. I will think about it. That is not a yes or no. I would also like to make sure that everyone in your group can pass the Genin test. As Hokage I could use a special medical unit. I would worry about you, as you are my daughter. I also wouldn't want you to expect special favors for being the daughter of the Hokage. Okay, no favors, but I would like my opinion listened to. I could also help you out around the office when I am not out on missions or working at the hospital. Yoshiko replied to her mother's concerns. She then smiled wryly. I will also endeavor to keep a certain genin in line. Not with the types of favors your father likes I hope. Tsunade quipped. Only after we are married would I do that. Well maybe before, but not until he is at least 16. I just hope he finds being like a father is not beneficial to his life expectancy. Yoshiko countered. So have you talked to him about being a father? Tsunade asked. Yoshiko nodded. Yes, but he glossed over it, but said he should have married you those years ago. Tsunade smiled affectionately. I would only agree to that on the condition that he did not do his research, and we both know he will not do that. What about me getting another sibling? Yoshiko teased. Tsunade shook her head. I will take it under consideration. I might even use your boyfriend and Shizune to give you a sibling. Yoshiko froze. No, he is mine. Yoshiko yelled as Tsunade began to laugh hysterically. Not a funny mother. Everyone looked at Yoshiko as she yelled at her mother. Naruto was not quite sure if her comment was directed at him or not. If it was, he was in more trouble with Sakura-chan than he was before. Naruto suddenly stopped and everyone looked at him wondering what was going on. Naruto found himself in the dark realm of his mind where Kyuubi dwelt. Great, what does that damn fox want now? Naruto walked towards the cage and looked directly at the fox. What do you want now, fox? The fox laughed. Do you like the blonde girl? You can have her if you like, she can teach you many wonderful things. The fox teased. Naruto looked at the fox with a confused look. What do you mean wonderful? She is a good kisser. I just wish Sakura would kiss me like that. Be gone, help, and bother me no more, we will talk again. The fox told Naruto. As he came back to reality, Yoshiko wore a concerned look on her face, and her face was only an inch from his face. So close, she is so cute, Naruto thought to himself, as he quickly turned red, and passed out. The adult began to laugh, as Yoshiko quickly rested Naruto's head on her lap. Naruto quickly woke up to see Yoshiko smile at him, and help him to stand. Naruto smiled weakly at Yoshiko, as he did not know what to do. He apologized for fainting, but was surprised by Yoshiko being in his face when he had been thinking. It is okay, Naruto-kun, you are not alone in the burden you carry, there are others. Yoshiko replied, as she looked at her mother to see if she would let her tell her secret. Tsunade smiled, and nodded. Naruto saw this, and was not sure what was coming next. You must tell no one what I am about to tell you. Ishiko stated, but he could see her pleading in her eyes. He just nodded his response. I'm also as I also carry a demon fox inside of me. Naruto stopped dead. What did you say? Ishiko took Naruto's hands into her own and smiled weakly. I also carry a demon fox sealed within me. It is nowhere near as powerful as yours. Please don't hate me. Naruto was shocked to know that there was another beyond Gar and himself that carried demons. Is that why she seemed so desperate to show me affection? Ishiko's eyes began to tear up. Please say something. Naruto did what he knew best. He smiled a big grin and played dumb. I believe in Ishiko-chan. How did you know I am a Jinchujinker? Ishiko chuckled at Naruto and smiled warmly as a tear ran down her cheek. They are called human sacrifice. It is a way to deal with a demon. We both carry demon foxes. I might be able to help you with yours if you like. Ishiko offered. Naruto reached up and began to wipe the tear on her cheek away, only to find her pressing her face into his hand. Naruto was totally confused. Jiraiya sighed at the scene and then walked over to Naruto and bonked him on the head. He then took Naruto aside. Gaki, you will eventually have some choices to make. I can tell that she likes you, but I know you like that pink-haired teammate of yours. My advice is for now to at least get to know the girls around you. You can date all of them that will put up with you, but don't date them at the same time. That would be a bad idea. Now when we get back we fix up your teammate, and I can do some training with you, and you can return to going on missions. Jiraiya explained. Training? Great, when can we begin? Naruto inquired excitedly. You still have some healing to do, but we can start in a couple days, and having a cute nurse as a girlfriend will make you heal a little quicker. Jiraiya stated, as Naruto looked back at Ishiko who had her hands clasped in front of her, blushing, and was turning side to side while she looked wistfully at Naruto. Almec. Ishiko invited Naruto up to her room with a sinister purpose. She closed and locked the door after Haku, Hinata, and Isurbi all entered the room with her, and Naruto. Okay, show me your distraction, you are so famous for. Naruto didn't even think about his surroundings, in that he was surrounded by girls, and was going to show them a naked girl. Alright, here we go. Sexy jutsu. Naruto changed into a beautiful young woman between 18 and 20. She wore nothing other than whiffs of clouds. Ishiko took an analytical pose, and then walked over to Naruto. Okay, I can see why the guys fall for it. What is this? She touched the cloud, and it didn't move. Some form of Ishiko then touched Naruto's breasts, and Naruto immediately blushed. Okay, you are missing the nipples, and answer me this. How did it feel when I touched you there? Naruto blushed and spoke. His voice was different, higher in pitch, and definitely female. It felt good, but I am not sure if I am actually ready for people to touch me that way. Naruto admitted. Ishiko blushed. I'm sorry Naruto-kun. I am just testing a theory. Ishiko knew something was wrong. How does he actually have real breasts, minus the nipples? I am guessing that the clouds are a type that only he can do. Naruto blushed, as he didn't understand what was going on. I did it right, didn't I? Haku walked over and put her hand up to his breast, but did not touch. May I Naruto-kun? Naruto nodded, as Haku gently touched him. Naruto's eyes rolled into the back of his head, and he let out a moan. I see it does feel good to you, doesn't it, Naruto-kun? Naruto nodded. You do know you're missing some things, don't you? Haku asked, as she pulled her hand away. Naruto nearly followed the hand, as her warm hand left a cold spot on his chest. The magazines didn't have any of the areas that were covered by clouds. I guess I'll let the guys leave it up to their imagination. Naruto admitted. Ishiko nodded to Naruto. You can release them. Naruto nodded, and returned to his original form. Naruto-kun, you wanted to perfect it, didn't you? Naruto's eyes lit up. Yeah, it would be great if I could do that. Naruto excitedly exclaimed. Ishiko smirked, as the rest of the girls also smirked. Well, first you have to understand female anatomy. Naruto smiled innocently. Okay, what do I need to know first? Ishiko looked at Hinata. Hinata-chan, can you help Naruto-kun with the lips and face? Hinata blushed, but nodded. Naruto-kun, re-engage your henge, but with clothes this time. Make her age also. Thus the rest of the afternoon went learning what it was to be female. A good time was had by all, and at the end of the day all remained virgins, at least physically. Naruto had to spend the night in the guest bedroom because of losing consciousness from blood loss. Seeing all the girls in their birthday suits didn't lend itself to keeping him conscious. Naruto didn't forget his night of show, until any time soon, as the girls would always giggle and sigh constantly in his presence. This annoyed Sakura, as the girls always seemed to appear after the team meetings. It also annoyed Sasuke, as Ishiko and Haku were in the group, and they had kept on turning him down time and time again. How could the dope have all the luck with the girls now after he kept on striking out with Sakura? Thanks for watching my video. Leave a like if you enjoyed my video, and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. See you next time. Till then, sayonara.